Topic, disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
We are not authorized professionals
In the counseling industry.
and in marriage and relationship. How do you keep your marriage strong, fights, spicy, exciting?
I can tell you over the years, our fights have now become debates. So we don't have that much that we fight about because we've reached common ground.
Proven theory, in fact, your blood and your molecular DNA actually changes
When you're angry.
when you're angry.
I read that it's not good to walk out in an argument because you left that person feeling like you're abandoning them during a tough time.
Spice up your marriage.
Ooh, the topic
Some
that
tips from Mr. and Mrs. BigBites.
Mm. Welcome, guys.
Back.
You know what? Why must I always scream the welcome?
I don't know, because that's your energy, that's your thing. It's just such a pleasure being here, and the comments that I've been receiving, people loving the podcast. We have a person that follows us and watches.
Waits for the
and waits
podcast. You guys
weekly.
are, and that makes us happy because even if it's one person that goes to watch that podcast, let me tell you, there's a lot of setup planning that goes into just coming up with stuff to keep you updated, talk about, chat, you know.
So Lebo M2_YT. I
ups.
always enjoy your podcast every week. It's an exciting topic to keep up with Mr. and Mrs. Big Bite.
Aw, thank you,
Lebo.
Lebo.
We appreciate you. So, cool topic. Disclaimer. We are not authorized professionals
In the counseling industry.
and in marriage and relationships.
We just share what we have learned to build, or what we have built
Over
over
the
the
years.
last 13 years. So we are married for 13 years for everyone that keeps asking. We got married in 2010 and we've been together since 2008. I know it's a long time. Time is flying, but it feels like just yesterday.
And the topic is how to keep your together. How do you keep your marriage strong, fights, spicy, exciting, and
How do you
relevant?
manage your
Fights and
conflicts
arguments.
and your fights? I can tell you over the years, our fights have now become debates. So we don't have that much that we fight about because we've reached common ground. There's no power battle between the two of us.
If you're a couple or a person that says, we don't have fights, you've heard those people.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no, we don't fight.
No, then we
No,
understand.
that's-
A fight doesn't mean you have to physically.
Yes.
A fight could be an emotional.
And I think in our earlier parts of our marriage, we were very
Verbal.
part of.
I thought you were going to say physical. Yo, I'm waiting.
No, we weren't doing the WWE thing, but I mean, we were behaving like parliament members
And it takes a lot to learn how
and
to
grow out
get-
of that.
And Misha has become like my version. You've become like really thick-skinned. So you and a crocodile are on the same league.
So, guys, let me tell you my strategy is as soon as Warren starts getting into it and I can feel my blood starts boiling because your blood starts boiling when that person is like on edge. you know, you
levitating.
start-
Yeah, you start grinning.
So what I do is I switch off. It's not always a good thing, but it works in this situation because I feel like switching off is better than saying hurtful things,
But silence can be.
even more aggravating.
So we've introduced a thing called a 15-minute timer.
Time out.
It takes one of us to say it.
I'm timing out
It
now
was probably the best initiative.
that we took in
It
our
got
marriage.
me very far.
Yeah.
I mean, I can time out and say it right. And it is proven fact.
But
right?
sometimes you time out, but you still want me in your face. I don't know.
Proven theory, in fact, your blood and your molecular DNA actually changes
When you're angry.
when you're angry. Your skin color and your pigmentation changes. The movie The Hulk was created on this very same premise. You physically change. Your DNA actually changes. You can Google it. It's a proven theory. Your eye color changes.
That can change very quickly.
And if these three physical things can happen in an instant, and you cannot take.
control it, or it's all about how you react and not you need to respond and not react.
But let's be real, Mish. Come on.
No,
How
no,
many
no.
people?
I'm being very real.
Correct.
It took me a lot of time, a lot of practice, and a lot of talking to myself that my reaction is going to cost me my pride and I'm going to have to apologize. But when I respond, I get your attention. You listen. Because sometimes reacting is because you just want to push your point across. And when you respond, you acknowledge the next person's feeling. I acknowledge that I made you angry. I acknowledge there's something you did not like the way I said it. However, maybe I did not mean it in that way. And there is nicer way of bringing it down. But you're right, when you do get angry, it's very difficult to be
So you need
a timeout.
you have to, because your molecular structure has to come back. Your senses have to come back. Your
Correct.
heart rate needs to reduce. You cannot think rationally. So it's important to recollect yourself. I've also noticed that over time in men, in a lot of men in marriages and couples, we tend to bottle things up. We tend to, men, I don't know if this happens with women as well, or
Yeah, men struggle to
talk.
verbalize themselves.
and we sweep things under the carpet and it builds up and it builds up and it builds up and that's very dangerous. And so one of the things that that I have learned, I recently, well, in the last two to 3 years, see, I'm not an expert. I try to talk. I talk, and she'll tell you, and you can be.
And I appreciate the talking, because the talking is better than somebody storming off, leaving you
Don't leave.
open-ended, and then coming back later, and now you even more pissed off. You know, as a woman, if someone walks out on you,
Yes.
it's a feeling of abandonment.
Oof, that's dangerous.
So I read that it's not good to walk out in an argument, because you left that person feeling like you're abandoning them during a tough time. And it takes years to heal that abandonment. And you go through trauma of, oh, he's gonna leave, so let me just shut up, you know? And that doesn't help either, because you're now sweeping things under the carpet because you're scared he's gonna leave. But if you really took time just to take the time out, come back, you will see how the differences are sorted out amicably, respectfully. And I have made it my duty, I promise you, to not throw any mud at him when we're in an argument.
It's hard.
It's very
hard.
tough, because it's easy to just, you did this and this is da 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 da. But the moment you can compose yourself, you already confused the enemy.
And therefore, you need to season your tongue with salt. Because one of the things that I try every day, well, I've been successful in this in actual fact, I don't swear,
Yeah.
nor does my wife. I promise you, very hard to get even an Afrikaans swear word out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You must really, I can't swear. It's if I do, I don't know, it's my ultimate peak moment.
I feel like vulgarity is a
Promotes-
trigger and an opening to and escalates the fight to get worse.
Correct.
I feel like vulgarity is the door that will open, it will rip the wound open, and then it just blows everything out of control. Whereas something that is so small can be just resolved. And I know what I told myself, and I think if you think about what I'm about to say now, it's gonna, like, the penny is gonna drop. There's 3 things I ask when we start fighting or when there's a debate. Is this worthy of a fight? Am I going to look at it tomorrow and say, it was such a dumb thing we fought over? And is it something that we're fighting over? Is it life-changing decisions? Because if it's not any of those 3, I don't give it energy.
That comes with a lot of experience, eh? Seems
Yeah.
like I fought with you a lot, man.
Yeah, I just
Build you
don't.
into this.
Those are the 3 main things I ask myself, because I just feel like some things are not worthy of a fight. If we're going to argue that, hey, I did not drop your this, I did not,
So balance it.
yeah,
It's important to balance it and to ascertain what is going to affect and blow out of proportion. You know, another thing that I've learned over time that I can give you guys advice is, other than seasoning your tongue, is definitely taking time to tell yourself. You need to tell yourself that I want to change. It's very hard to try to change
Oh.
that person.
Yes.
Because most
Yes.
marriages and most couples want to change each other. You strive the whole year and years of marriage and
Hoping
day
that you can change your partner.
because you think you're good
Why don't you change yourself?
yourself. You know, you
100%.
want to change the way that person looks, you want to change the way that person talks.
If I could write a book about it, I will tell you the day our marriage changed and the day our lives changed was the day I changed, because I stopped trying to change you and I made the changes in you. When I wanted to be a better person, I became the better person, and you just started reciprocating the respect, the way we handle things, our life goals. And sometimes you gotta lead. They say you have to lead. You can't expect to be followed.
You need those fundamentals. So I would like to say, you know, the biggest thing for me in our marriage or in marriages is the importance of having boundaries and spiritual boundaries. Because with having God as part of your marital go-to
Yeah.
your plan, it helps. It is the fundamental. It's a foundation. You will always know that it's because of God in your life, because of Jesus in my life, that I will respect my woman. I'll appreciate my wife. I will treat her well. You get some men that are chivalrous. They
won't.
They're amazing. So chivalry is amazing, meaning they'll open the door
Oh,
for
yes.
you.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
they'll
No,
put the
that
red
is-
carpet. I mean, those are difference between upbringing
Yes.
and versus spiritual upbringing.
But can I just interject? I think the most important thing in a relationship is learning to say, I'm sorry
Please.
and thank you. Whether you're right, wrong, whether your partner deserves it or not, you need to just remain being a good person. Because eventually, life is like a mirror. If you're smiling, it will smile back at you. So I know it doesn't work in every situation, but it works if you put in the work and you want to work in your marriage, because it's a work in progress every day. No one's arrived.
Ad
But
break.
that's it.
Ad break quickly. We still got more to talk about this. I want to expand a little bit more.
Okay.
Ad break would be is we are offering now high-end Maxton design kit installations in our shop. When I was about 4 to 5 years ago in the game, I could never ever believe that I would actually be fitting or installing high-end exclusive body kits to these exclusive cars. And you know, one would think it's impossible to reach or get. Yes, they are financially high, but the quality and the fitment is amazing. So yes, we are now bringing in kits through relevant partners, installing them, giving you the guarantee on it, and making sure. So we got an RS4 that we're kitting out. I'll be doing another RS5 soon. We're going to be doing our M3 in a complete Maxton design carbon fiber. So yeah, hit me up, Big Bite Performance, if you want to take your business to a next level. Not your business, your car. Your car to the next
That
level.
could be your business.
Yeah, your car could be your business. But yeah, that's my ad break, is that we've taken quality to the next level and we've established it.
And contact us on 072
645 2044. Now let's go back to this topic.
Yes.
This is a very good topic.
Yes.
How do we deal with an abusive marriage? What should a male or female do now if the husband is not stopping now? He's there's three types of abuse. We can try and unpack the three.
Okay.
It's physical, emotional.
It's physical and mental.
What was the other one I was going to say? Totally forgot. Apologies. But emotional and physical abuse, right? And sorry, it was alcohol and drug addiction abuse. Addiction abuse. That's what I was in my mind.
Okay.
So, which one would you like to address? I can give you like a minute on each. A minute. Tell me.
So let's unpack the mental abuse, because a lot of people don't acknowledge mental abuse because it can't be seen. It's just something you accept.
Emotional abuse.
Yeah, the emotional, mental.
What do they do? What should they do?
You know, it's such a tricky situation with
Talk about
emotional
it.
abuse.
Talk about it. You should be able to approach your partner and speak to them and tell them that this is no longer.
Acceptable.
Yes, I know this is hard because we're not going through it, but we
Yeah,
can
I don't
try
know.
and we're not professionals. But commonly, the way I've seen
Because
this.
a lot of people say, no, you must just leave, just leave. Leaving is not an option for a lot of women because either they're financially dependent, either they're dependent, they don't have anywhere to go, and some people it's become part of their lifestyle.
I do believe in speaking, in counseling and
Yeah.
communication. I'm for it. I'm pro counseling.
But
And
here's
I'm
the
pro
other
speaking.
thing,
Yes.
and I'm sorry to have cut you off. The thing with counseling is that the abuser must want to change.
Yes. Now you have to start and initiate that process of emotional and highlight it. Highlight the emotional abuse. The woman and the man needs to say, you know what, you're oppressing me. You're
Exactly.
oppressing me, and I think you need to address it. Don't sweep it. My thing is,
Don't sweep anything under the
Don't
carpet
do
or
that.
don't accept it. Don't settle for it.
so physical abuse. From if your guy is
For
physically,
me, the physical abuse thing, that's just not
I'm going to tell
acceptable.
you need to get a family member involved. For us, we're lucky. We got a very cool pastor. He says he'll plug some.
Yeah,
you know,
our pastor will come there.
You'll come there.
Yeah.
And, you know the one thing I can tell you is that without support you can't do much things. If you're getting physically abused and you're scared, you're ashamed. He will continuously do it. But if it's to a point where a man is
public.
no, where it's public and he's gonna disfigure you and he probably could injure you. I do think that there is that commits to leaving.
Yes,
That definitely
absolutely.
gives you a right to
You
exit.
should, and whether you have or don't have or what, you should leave because somewhere in you, inside of you, you will figure out a way. You will make a way. You don't have to
If
stay
it's
in
life
that.
threatening,
Yeah,
you must
you
report
need
it.
to leave.
You have to report it, and you have to, because it could be life threatening. And remember, a man does get scared of a restraining order. He gets scared of the police.
So,
The moment
like
he hears the
majority
police,
of them, you get that
I always
1%.
give women advice. You need support. You need a detective. You need a support. You need a brother. You need someone you can phone. You need someone who can be there for you because you can end up dead. He'll kill you, and your brother might just save you in the last minute. Your pastor might save you. Your friend might save you, and you don't realize that through rage, mistakes can happen. And not only mistakes, but I gauge it like this: if it's too often, and it's a habit, and it's very dangerous, and the severity is
Yeah.
bad, then that's when
It's
it falls
time.
off. But you must address him if it's happening.
You have to. Listen, it's not acceptable. One
Unacceptable.
slap is not acceptable.
Both ways, male or
It
female.
doesn't matter. You just have to go and get that's important actually what you said. What if you're a male getting abused and you're in
No,
this
and I know
abuse
of the-
because women
Are
these
doing it.
days are doing
No,
it.
they're poking the guys,
Scratch
they're scratching
them.
them, they're hurting them, they're physically disfiguring
Slapping
their
them.
face, slapping them, and
So it doesn't matter even if you're a
you're
male.
scared to hit back, and you shouldn't
Because you
hit
know
back,
your
but you
power.
should defend yourself.
You should defend yourself.
No, you're a human, right? You shouldn't get hurt. Defend yourself. If that person's gonna kill you, my God, defend yourself. Please run away or defend yourself. I don't care whether she's a woman or what, defend yourself. Inclusive of a woman, defend yourself.
Because like after the Johnny Depp case, a lot of men have been coming forward to say
A lot of men,
we are
even some men
staying-
that I know close
Yeah.
to me, shared some stories with me recently.
like we are living in
New
with
age.
an Amber Heard here, and it's actually quite scary.
No, but women need to stop it now. They
I
need to
think
stop.
I
Can't
think
be
I
casting
think
the-
there are some women that don't realize that if that man really has to snap.
Yeah, and I've witnessed it. Woman beating some drunk oaks.
Yes.
And, they hit the oak and he's passive.
Yes.
You don't know his physical capacity.
he
and strength.
snaps,
God
you know?
did make us physically stronger. You can injure you now. I don't want to expand too much on
that.
abuse. I just told you all to report it, to address it, and get a support system.
Yes.
Immediately.
100%.
The last one is addiction.
Yeah.
Both male or female abusive alcohol addiction,
Or
drug
drug.
addiction, and the new one, which is played under the carpet, it's medication.
Over the counter meds.
It's an addiction, and it affects you both in all aspects. Addictions can affect you in every way. Addiction can lead to abuse, can lead to sexual demoralization. It can lead to manipulation. That's a dangerous one, and I think also requires support. So you need to identify it.
Yes, you need to identify what you're going through. I think a lot of people are in denial and they stay in this thing and they make excuses for their abusers. It's very tough.
Yeah,
if
that's a good one,
It's
right?
very tough if you can't see a future in that person changing, because there are some people who change.
And never
And
give
they
up.
are good guys, who probably have deep trauma issues. And once they've dealt with that, they've become the most amazing partner. But you have to determine whether that person is worth it or not, and if they want to change. You can't change them. That's the important part. In abuse, in relationships, it's all about the other person. They say the old saying is, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. So I think we've expounded enough on,
Let's finish on a lighter note.
Yes.
Spice up your marriage.
Ooh, the topic
Some
that...
tips from Mr. and Mrs. Big Bite.
You start,
No,
sir.
you start. No, you do it.
For me, spicing it up, surprise him
Oh.
on a random day, random note. Just be like, grr, come.
Fix your hygiene, gents. Fix your hygiene. Look good, smell good.
Can we talk about that?
We did.
Like,
No, we
yeah.
Hygiene, I think, is something that women are attracted to. Your wife can
Good
also.
smelling man.
Don't neglect yourself. Go to gym, eat well. You won't huff and puff all over her. You'll be able to operate. You'll be strong a little bit. Don't neglect your body. Don't neglect your looks. Don't neglect yourself.
I think both parties don't, because once you get married, you just think it's okay, it's fine, I'm married. Why do people put this death sentence on
marriage, and they let themselves go.
That should be another topic, and we will continue on that
Be a
topic.
work in progress.
And I think, ladies, just put a pair of heels on. When he's arguing with you, just walk across the room in that pair of heels.
Aye. Communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate. Talk to each other. Tell each other, hey, what you want to do, what's in your mind. Don't surprise them too
And
much.
I think
Communicate.
be very affectionate. Affection can win anybody over.
True.
At any time. Small things. It's the little things that matter. It's probably the note that you're going to leave in his lunch. It's probably the random text to just say, hey, I do love you. I know you've had a tough week. And acknowledge that his feelings are also relevant. And as women, I think we need to acknowledge our husbands and spouses' feelings more than we actually do, because sometimes us women, we just think it's all about us because we're emotional beings.
That's it from us, guys. Enjoy.
Adios.
I'm sure this topic is going to be awesome. And I'm going to see lots of comments. Take care.